Do you believe you make rational financial decisions? What if I told you that your brain is constantly sabotaging you when it comes to money? In the next few minutes, we will reveal the shocking truth about how your biology controls your wallet and how you can regain control. Stay tuned because what you are about to learn will change your view of money forever. Welcome back, curious minds. We all like to believe that we are in control of our financial decisions, but the reality is often different. Have you ever wondered why you spend money impulsively even though you've decided to save? Or why you stick with a bad investment even though all signs point to loss? The answer doesn't always lie in a lack of discipline, but deep in the neural circuits of your brain. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of behavioral neuroscience and money, and deciphering how our brains really tick when it comes to finances. And I promise you, by the end of this video, you will not only understand your brain better, but also know concrete strategies for turning it into your best financial advisor. The battle in your head, rationality versus emotion. Imagine your brain as a complex orchestra in which different instruments play together when you make a financial decision. The main players in this concert are the prefrontal cortex and the limbic system, which includes the amygdala. The prefrontal cortex, often referred to as our rational calculator, is responsible for logic, planning, and evaluating long-term consequences. It's the part that tells you to save for retirement or think carefully before you buy. But then there's the limbic system, our emotional powerhouse. This is where the amygdala is located, which responds to rewards and threats, often faster than your prefrontal cortex can even say stop. When you see an enticing advertisement or feel like you're missing out on a bargain, the amygdala lights up like a Christmas tree. It screams, "I want it," or "Don't miss out." This constant tug of war between logic and emotion is at the heart of many of our financial challenges. But what happens when these two systems are out of balance? I'll tell you in a moment when we talk about the biggest traps our brain leads us into. The invisible strings, how our brain manipulates us. Our brain is a master of efficiency and uses shortcuts, known as cognitive biases, to speed up decision-making. The problem is that these shortcuts are not always in the best interests of our finances. One of the most powerful of these biases is loss aversion. Studies show that the pain of losing something is psychologically twice as strong as the joy of winning the same amount. This explains why we often hold on to falling stocks in the hope of averting the loss, instead of pulling the ripcord and avoiding further losses. It is our brain's attempt to avoid the pain of loss, even if it is irrational. Another powerful bias is present bias, or the preference for immediate rewards. Your brain rewards you more for a small gain now than for a larger gain in the future. That's why buying the latest smartphone today often seems more attractive than saving for a down payment on a house in 5 years. Your brain's reward system fires much more intensely with immediate gratification. But there are other tricks our brain plays on us, such as the anchoring effect, where the first piece of information we receive strongly influences our subsequent assessment, or confirmation bias, where we unconsciously seek out information that confirms our existing beliefs. As you can see, it's a complex game, but the good news is you can learn to understand the rules and use them to your advantage. The power of neuroplasticity, rewiring your brain. Now comes the exciting part. Your brain is not static. It is incredibly adaptable, a phenomenon we call neuroplasticity. This means you can actively reshape and strengthen the neural pathways that control your financial decisions. It's like a muscle you can train. Every time you make a conscious, thoughtful financial decision, you strengthen the connections in your prefrontal cortex and weaken the impulsive reactions of your limbic system. But how exactly does this work? Here are 3 scientifically proven strategies you can use right away. The second pause. Before you make a major purchase or an important financial decision, pause for a moment. Count 2. This short pause gives your prefrontal cortex the time it needs to kick in and dampen the emotional impulses of the amygdala. It's a simple but extremely effective trick for avoiding impulse purchases. Break big decisions down into small steps. A big financial task, such as saving £1,000,000, can seem overwhelming and demotivate your brain.
Break it down into smaller, achievable milestones. Every time you reach one of these small steps, Your reward system fires up. These small wins build confidence and keep you motivated to stay on track. Recognize and name biases. Become a detective of your own thoughts. If you notice that you are making an irrational decision out of fear of loss or are being influenced by an anchoring effect, name the bias. Simply being aware of it can help you make a more rational decision. You will then be working with your natural thought patterns instead of against them. Conclusion: become the master of your finances. As you can see, your financial decisions are not a matter of chance, but the result of complex neurological processes. Your brain is not your enemy, but a powerful tool that you can learn to control. By understanding the mechanisms behind your impulses and applying targeted strategies, you can rewire your neural pathways and build a deeper, more conscious relationship with money. It's not about turning off your emotions, but understanding them and aligning them with your long-term goals. The journey to financial sovereignty begins in your mind, and now you have the instruction manual. Use it wisely.